Welcome, one. Welcome, all. It's time for another exciting show.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to
Vaughn Radio.
On Vaughn Radio, folks, it's time for the show with no name, and let's lift off. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Lift off.
We got this. Come on. Yes.
Get ready. Hold on to your hat. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time.
Where?
On Vaughn Radio.
That's right, Vaughn Radio.
It's the show with no name.
On Vaughn Radio. Let's go. All right, folks, welcome to another exciting edition of the show with no name, your wacky English class, tu clase de inglés chiflado, your wacky English class on Vaughn Radio. It's the show with no name. I'm Alberto Alonso, your friend, your teacher, your confidant. Welcome, folks. Welcome to another exciting edition. I'm thrilled to be here with you, as always. Encantadísimo. Thrilled to the gills. Si queremos añadir énfasis. Thrilled to the gills to be here with you all. And it's another day to make progress, to grow, to learn, to discover. And that's what we all have in common here as show with no namers. So welcome, one, welcome all. I hope you're ready to participate. I hope you're ready to have some fun. And most of all, I hope you're ready to learn some English with us here on Vaughn Radio. And I imagine you guys have warmed up already because you were with my buddy Fitz. If you were tuned in, you were listening to Fitz's program, No Excuses. So you guys should be good to go. What? Good to go? Yeah, good to go is listísimos, listos para acción. Good to go. And folks, we are good to go. And we're good to go to an awesome event that's coming up. It's the book fair.
Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time of year again. Spring has sprung, and that means it's time for the book fair at the Retiro Park in Madrid. It kicks off on May 26th till June 11th. Join us at Grupo Vaughn's stand 312, 312. I'll be there with Damian Moya presenting our latest book. And my amigos will be there signing their books as well. Don't miss
Julia Linares, or Jules, host of the Let's Get Random show.
Dave Boys, host of The Salads.
Jimena Holiday, host of Test Your English.
Guy Williams, host of Western Civilization.
Natasha Pasqua, host of Back to Basics.
Kyle Miller from The Drive Time Show.
Richard Vaughn.
and many more. Meet your favorite Vaughn presenters, teachers, and authors at Feria del Libro 2023. Stand 312. Check out our website for the complete schedule, grupovaughn.com, and follow us on social media for further updates. Feria del Libro 2023 with Vaughan at the Retiro Park in Madrid. Join us at stand 312. 312.
That's right, folks. Stand 312. It's going to be epic, amigos. Write down these dates, jot them down. I will be there with Damian Moya presenting our brand spanking new book. This book is the shit, and I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am and how excited Damian is and all of us over at Vaughn. So I hope you'll join us. I'll be there with my buddy Damian. Remember, it's stand 312, 312, Saturday, May 27th, Saturday, June 3rd, and Sunday, June 11th. All of those will be from 11 a.m. if you like to get there nice and early, till 2 p.m. if you'd rather get there around lunchtime. And we'd love to see you. We'd love to sign our new book, take some selfies, and all that jazz. You've also got Richard Vaughn. I know for a fact he's going to be there May 27th from 7 to 9 p.m. But check our website for additional times. Dave Boyes. Don't miss him. Man, he's a genius. Really, hats off to Dave. Dave Boyes, host of The Salad, author of Canciones con Animales en Inglés, author and compositor. And you can see him in his one-man band. He's amazing, seriously. Bring the kids. It's Saturday, June 10th, 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 noon. And don't forget about Kyle Miller, who will be there hanging out, answering all your questions, taking pictures, signing books. And he'll be there Sunday, June 4th. Kyle's only going to be there one date, as far as I know. Sunday, June 4th from 12 noon to 2 p.m. But you can catch Kyle every day here on Vaughn Radio on Drive Time, luckily. You've got Ximena, and she'll be signing Expresiones en Inglés and many other books. And she'll be there Saturday, June 3rd, Sunday, June 11th. Both of those at 5 p.m. Tosh, June 11th. Tosh Pasqua from Back to Basics, June 11th, 12 noon to 2 p.m. And Guy Williams, June 4th and June 11th from 7 to 9 p.m. And Jules Linares from Let's Get Random, June 28th at 7 p.m. So there are more people going. There are more time slots, but that's the latest information I have. And I hope you'll join us. We're really looking forward to it. It's a very special time of year for all of us. It's Feria del Libro, and the stand is 312. And I'll be presenting my latest book with Damian Moya. This book is the shit. All right, well, folks, we've got so much to do, so let's get right into today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, amigos. It's our pop quiz where I get something from one of our books, one of our materials at Vaughn Tienda. If you can't make it to the bookshop, to the book fair, you can stop by our bookshop either in person or you can stop by online at vaughntienda.com and pick up all the materials you're going to need for this summer, including online courses. And if you're looking for summer camps or face-to-face, in-person courses, whether they're private or whether they're group classes, you can get more information at grupovaughn.com. Also, remember, if you follow us on social media, you can ask us via social media and you can get more information. We'll tell you about special deals, plus give you tons of content. And we were just talking about my buddy Dave Boyes. He is, if I've been on Vaughn Radio a long time, man, he is from the old school. So, as I said, hats off. Hats off to Dave Boyes. He stands the test of time. His show is still good. It's still funny. It's still entertaining. And obviously, you learn English from him as well. And then he composed some songs that he did with his kids to teach them English. And Dave is just a wonderful, wonderful, talented dude. And he'll be there again Saturday, June 10th from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30. And even if you don't have kids, you can, pick up a copy for your niece or your nephew or bring them. It's a great day to spend the day in the park, in the Retiro Park, which is, in my opinion, I mean, I've been to Central Park. I've been to the parks in Tokyo. Retiro is it's a beautiful park, right? Right smack dab in the center of Madrid. All right. So Dave Boyes, in his program, The Salad, he likes to look at these conundrums, these collocations, these series of words that go together, like you just feel them. You don't even know. A native speaker knows, like in Spanish, depende de. You don't even think about it. Say, depende de las circunstancias, depende del tiempo, depende. You don't think about that de. But of course, if you have to now say it in English, you say, oh, now you have to think about it because it's not depende de, it's depende en, depends on. So these are little things that could throw you off. No, desconcertarte. They're things that could throw you off if you're not at least aware of them and don't practice. The best way I say is to learn them as if they were little jingles, como rafaguillas. Like, have you ever been to? Where were you? Esa cuesta el mundo a mis alumnos. Where were you? ¿Dónde estabas? Where were you? Where were you? Okay, whose is it? Don't think about whose. How does it sound? Whose is it? Whose is it? Is it yours? No. Whose are they? Ponlo en plural. Whose was it? And play with it until you're saying it. Again, it's really important to be able to hear it pronounced correctly and how it sounds for you to be able to replicate it. So you guys are on the right path by listening to Vaughn Radio because you're hearing all the different accents, because here on Vaughn Radio, I have to say, I don't want to brag, but we've got every different accent. So it's really important that you try and replicate not just the words we're saying, the sounds we're making and putting them together. All right. So I don't just want you to say, to give me this translation, but I also want you to say it aloud. And I want you to say it aloud till you're comfortable saying it, till it just feels natural. Okay, here we go. Él está muy espabilado esta mañana y de buen humor. Él está muy espabilado esta mañana y de buen humor. There are a few prepositions in there, and you either know them or you don't. And we're going to take a look now. And we're going to go over to our chat room where we've got our show with no namers. Bring in the magic. And you know what else we got to bring? There it is. There's the beat. Good morning, show with no namers. Welcome aboard. There's Born to Iron Man front row center. And he says, morning, folks. Morning to you, Captain. Chris Valrol says, good morning, Alberto and mates. What's up, Chris? Great to hear from you, as always. Kubla says, hello, outstanding fellas. You take the cake. Oh, man, wait, what's that? That's a totally native. You take the cake. I love it. Te llevas la palma. Os lleváis la palma. Also, Kubla goes on to say, I've seen Dave perform. When he was done, I felt like walking up to him and hugging him endlessly. What an enjoyable individual. No doubt about it. I second the motion. Dave exudes energy and good vibes. And he's also providing today's pop quiz, which is from his program, The Salad. You can catch it every day on Vaughn Radio. If not, you can listen wherever you listen to podcasts. And again, he'll be at Feria del Libro, Retiro Park, June 10th. It's a Saturday. He'll be there from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Let's see. Chris says, I already have your stand located. Lo tengo ubicado. I've looked at it on the map. Guess what, Chris? I am as obsessed as you are. I did too. I said to Kike, okay, well, let's see where it is, because I like to, at least give some kind of indication, even if it's not directions. After the second oak, después del segundo roble, no. Pues saying, si entras por esta entrada, pues no tienes que dar una vuelta. So that's good stuff to know, Chris. If you want to pass that information on, a good way to describe it. Again, usually Vaughn will do that. So once, I don't know if they've put it up yet, the schedules and everything, but usually they have like a little Google Map link as well. But Chris, hablando de espabilada, yeah, myself as well. I looked it up like a couple weeks ago. Let's see, Kubla participating in today's pop quiz. Let's take a look. Now it was, él está muy espabilado esta mañana y de buen humor. Let's see. Kubla says he's as sharp as a tack and in a good mood. It's not what Dave has, but it's totally correct. Una chincheta? Chincheta, I think, is a tack. I always get confused with that word. Well, it's something I can explain it to you. Remember when we were younger, some of us my age, we used to put posters on our walls, and you would use these little, they're not nails, they're smaller. Okay, they're called tacks or thumbtacks, porque apretas con el esto, right? So, and another way is sharp, porque tiene punto, y sharp también es espabilado. Nice. He's as sharp as a tack and in a good mood. Great job, Kubla. And also, we have another one. You guys are going to love this one. We also say when somebody's not very bright, no es muy espabilado, no lo pilla, right? We say, that boy, ese chico, he's as sharp as a marble. Una canica, I think you say. A marble, esas bolitas que parecen ojos de gato. So he's as sharp as a tack. That's positive. As sharp as a marble, que se usa, es una frase, significa no da para más, pobrecillo. So excellent. That's great. Let's see. I'm sure there are many, many different ways to say this. Let's see. Born to Iron Man's taking a stab at it. He said he's way awake this morning and at good mood. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. The first part, I'll take it. And even better than way, me suena, he's wide awake. So es una canción de Katy Perry. I'm wide awake. I'm wide awake. I'm wide awake. Wide, like my eyes wide open. I'm wide awake. Sounds better than way. It's okay. I'm way como de muchísimo, right? But wide is como uno de esos collocations. So great. I'm going to change it. He's wide awake this morning. And the second part, we got to make a little change, a little adjustment, a little tweak. Pero para eso lo miramos. So Born to Iron Man might have just made a mistake, but maybe that's a mistake everybody would have made. So everybody pay attention to this one. He's wide awake this morning and in a good mood. O sea, no es at y añadimos el a. So vamos a ponerlo. I'm in a good mood. Hay que decirlo en voz alta, como os dije. I'm in a good mood. Why? Well, the week's going by pretty quickly, right? I'm in a bad mood. Well, my team lost last night. I don't want to talk about it. I try to avoid current events anyway, actualidad, right? So, excellent. To be in a good mood, to be in a bad mood. Let's see. Chris Valrol is taking a stab at it. And she says, he's brighten up this morning and in a great mood. Well, Now, this is interesting because you did the opposite as Born to Iron Man. Either way, great, guys. So, to brighten up es como hacer más brillante. So, you brightened up my day, right? To brighten up, me alegraste, right? So, I like it. But it's a little bit different. So, but the second part's perfect, Chris. He's in a great mood. Está de buenísimo humor. He's in a great mood. Let's see. Chris says, I see eye to eye, Kubla. Dave is absolutely great. No, hey, listen, I believe this. In order to be a good teacher, you need to be a good person, right? I think so. In order to be a good father, you need to be a good person. In order to be a good friend, you need to be a good person. So what does that mean? Be a good person. Don't be a dick. Yeah, dick in this case is not the male thing. A dick is a bad person, right? You say a big goat. All right, Born to Iron Man. I like that. He's correcting it. And now, and I know you, Born to Iron Man, there's no doubt in my freaking mind that you said it aloud too. Am I right? Am I right? Me encanta esta, apúntate esta. Am I right or am I right? Esto lo decimos cuando sabemos que me dices a un amigo o alguien, am I right or am I right? Porque am I wrong or am I right? Pero cuando lo tienes clarísimo, you're like, am I right or am I right? Como, tengo la razón, sí o sí, ¿no? ¿A que sí? You're not giving them many other options. So to be in a good mood, All right, well, there's one that Dave gave us that nobody gave us, which we use a lot. And I know I've used it a lot here in our class. And it's to be on the ball, right? To be on the ball. Piénsalo. No significa que estás encima del balón, pero estás controlándolo. He's on the ball, right? He's on the ball. She's on the ball. So they put, y mira cómo lo digo, no digo on the ball. Acabo de decir 5 veces y ni una vez he pausado. Es frase, en mi cabeza no es 3 palabras, es un sonido, on the ball. You're on the ball, right? Ya lo que cambia es el your, she's. Y eso es algo importante también. Pensamos qué cambia en cada frase cuando lo cambias. He's a good guy. She's a good. So aquí el he's a. Pero eso se queda junto. So it's always important to take a look at what changes. That's the example I used before. Have you ever been to? Okay. Have you ever been to? ¿Qué es lo que cambia? Eso no cambia. La mayoría de las veces, o puedes decir, has she ever been to? Has he ever been to? Have they? Pero normalmente estás hablando con una persona y dices, 1000 veces, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be saying, have you ever been to? So, si te sabes esa rafaguilla, ya añades Paris, Rome, Pengo. So, he's really on the ball this morning and in a great mood. Also, you can say he's on it. Man, you are on it. To be on it. O sea, se usa tanto. We use it so much that you don't even have to say that. You know, the ball part. You can say, you're on it, man. Y en el contexto, estás controlando, estás espabilado. Another way to say it, we said before, sharp. O si queremos usar no una expresión, el adjetivo, we said sharp as a tag, but you say, you're sharp. You're sharp. And then what do you have to do? Now that you've said it aloud, you know how it sounds. Now you gotta really personalize it. You gotta make it yours. And how do we do that? Well, Lara is always on the ball. No se pierde ni una. She never misses a beat. Ya le estoy dando una historia. Y lo estoy diciendo en voz alta. Lara's always on the ball. Right? Siempre está espabilada. And she's always in a great mood. She's always over the moon. See? Now I know who that in Dave's case, it was just he, whoever. but I've just personalized it. Who are you thinking of? Did you say it aloud? I hope you did, because that's what one thing is practicing your listening, and I know you do it every day, but it's up to you to practice your speaking as well. But folks, right now, we're heading to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the second part of today's show with no name. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name. Exclusively on Vaughn Radio, where you've got amazing programs to help you learn English, among other things. Right after today's show, you've got Ximena Holiday and Nacho. What a team. Test your English. A great way to make sure you're not making those big mistakes that come up time and time again. After that, you've got the most native conversation on Vaughn Radio. I'm talking about two buddies. I'm talking about Rob and Andy and the Lunchtime Show. After that, you've got Tosh Pasqua taking you back to basics. Then Jules Linares. Who knows what's going to come up on Let's Get Random. You know you're going to learn from one of the foremost history buffs, Guy Williams, on Western civilizations. And we spent the first 26 minutes of today's show singing the praises of Dave Boyes and his program, The Salad. Praiseworthy, digno de elogios, praiseworthy. And then, of course, to finish off your day, you've got the one and only Canadian killer, Kyle Miller. That's right, folks. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. The killer, Kyle Miller. I don't know if he's used that as a nickname, but I think he should. I know, it's cheesy, but I would use it. All right, well, folks, we've got so much to do, so let's get right back into things with today's Say What? Say what? All right, folks, it's our Say What soundbite here on the show with no name. You know it. You're going to hate me. You are going to hate me. But hey, when you're out there next time in the United States or who knows where, and you understand what people are saying, then you're going to love me. But right now, today, currently, you're going to hate me. And I'm sorry. But don't worry, it's not the end of the world if you don't get it. Do your best, as always. Kubla, I just said I don't want to talk about current events. So, the word I said was don't. Chris says, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Yeah, as I told you guys many times, I strive for, to strive es me esfuerzo. I strive for evergreen content so that anybody could listen to this show at any time, and it could be any game that I mentioned. Like, I try not to get into even what day of the week it is. If you notice, I used to, back in the day, be like, oh, it's Friday, or it's Wednesday. Either way, how does that change what we have to do? And also, what if the person who's listening to it is listening to it on a Wednesday, and we've got that, or on a Monday morning, and we're like, Friday, wow! So, I don't know, I just try and keep the energy up all the time and try and keep the content evergreen. But I used to talk about current events much more often. In my classes, I do. That's different. But, because that's a way to get people to debate about things, right? So, yeah. There was a big game last night. My team lost, and that's all that's important. That could be anytime, anywhere, right? Evergreen, baby, like Christmas trees. But I get it. I know when you guys are like, it's Friday, I can't wait. Even though maybe is today Friday? Who knows? Is this pre-recorded? Who knows? Who cares? All right, we've got so much to do here, so let's get serious without getting too serious. Here is today's Say What soundbite. Again, if you have difficulty understanding it, so did I. All right, here we go. Here's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
You know something, brother? I'm sure glad that you brought up this thing about Piper. Ladies and gentlemen, if you people don't know by now what this man have done to me, trying to humiliate, cripple me, and put me out of my wrestling commission.
Oh, man. Hey, at least I warned you, right? At least I warned you. I told you there's a storm coming in today's Say What soundbite. But hey, it's like everything, do your best. Do your best. I live by that philosophy as well. If you always do your best, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you're right in the middle, but you can always go to sleep at night saying, I did it to the best of my ability. And let's be honest, maybe on a Monday, it's very different. Your best on a Monday morning is very different than your best on a Friday. I don't know. Your mood, as we were just talking about before, your mood is a big, big factor there. All right, let me give it to you for a second time, and then we can discuss what you heard. I want you to tell me in your best English what you got from this audio clip. Here it is, the second listen of today's Say What soundbite.
You know something, brother? I'm sure glad that you brought up this thing about Piper. Ladies and gentlemen, if you people don't know by now what this man have done to me, trying to humiliate, cripple me, and put me out of my wrestling commission.
All right. There you go, amigos. There you go. Yeah, and I know what you guys are thinking, too. You were thinking before when I said about the evergreen content, but Alberto, you do birthdays every day. Yeah, but I don't tell, and I tell you what happened in history, but I never say the date. So I say today in history, there was a tornado or something, just to give you an example. I don't say June 2nd, 1943. I say today in 1943. So really, it doesn't matter what day it is. You can still learn the lesson. And that's the idea behind FYI, too, my self-produced podcast. All right, well, to save some time, let's kick off our spelling bee while you guys are sending me some comments on today's Say What soundbite. It's time for the most challenging section on our show, Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. All right, folks. Well, you know what? In case I forgot before, great job. Great job in the pop quiz. Even though we had some mistakes in there, that's the idea. I mean, let me explain something. Making mistakes is never a bad thing. Not correcting them is a bad thing. Making them is the only way you know that that you can be conscious or aware of it, right? Aware es otra forma de decir consciente. Me cuesta la vida pronunciar esa palabra. Dios. All right, let's take a look at your comments here on today's Say What soundbite. The first person to participate is Kubla. And Kubla says, I heard a horse American. Un caballo? No. Horse, afónico. They're homophones. I heard a horse American. Esta se escribe H-O-A-R-S-E, pero se pronuncia igual que caballo. I heard a horse American man whining about somebody. And to whine is lloriquear. Great vocabulary. About somebody who blasted him. Okay, to blast is poner a parir, pero también es dar, like to blast. So somebody who blasted him and left him almost a cripple. All right, great job, Kubla. Anybody else? Even if you didn't get it, you can give me your feedback based on what you heard. But Kubla, you are on the right track. Again, this one's a tough one today. But, again, if you get it wrong, nothing happens. If you make a mistake, the only time something's wrong is when you don't participate, because then we don't know if you made a mistake, right? But even if you say, you know what, man, it went in one ear and out the other. Entró por un lado y salió por lo. That's a great expression. You would get a for that expression, right? A totally native. All right, well, if nobody else is going to participate, we're going to move on to our spelling bee. As always, you're going to hear 6 words that I'm going to spell for you right now, and I want you to tell me what the words are. The good news, you don't have to capitalize them today. They are not proper nouns. Okay, they are not proper nouns. And good luck. I also, you know what? I think the same way the Say What soundbite is really tough, I think today's spelling bee is pretty easy compared to our usual spelling bee. So if you weren't able to get anything in the Say What soundbite, don't fret. Here's your chance to make up for it. Amendar. Really quickly, though, Maria Jose. Hello, Maria Jose. Great job. Thanks for your participation. She says, it sounds like an American man complaining about someone that has done to him, complaining about something that someone has done, it sounds like an American man complaining about something that someone has done to him, humiliating and crippled him. Great ear. Excellent ear there, Maria Jose. Yeah, humiliating and crippling. Great. Chris Valrol says, I heard a man whose accent I can't pinpoint. Well, I can pinpoint a totally native when I see one. Precisar, ubicar. I heard a man whose accent I can't pinpoint. He sounds like an elderly man, te falta el L-Y, elderly man who's remembering an unpleasant situation he had to pass through. Guys, wonderful job. Excellent. Wonderful job. All right, well, here we go with our spelling bee. Good luck, amigos. This is round one. The first word is L-A-N-D-S-L-I-D-E. The second word is T-O-R-N-A-D-O. The third one is E-A-R-T-H-Q-U-A-K-E. The fourth one is E-R-U-P-T-I-O-N. The fifth one is A-V-A-L-A-N-C-H-E. And the sixth one is D-R-O-U-G-H-T. All right. That's as fast as I can go, amigos. That's it. That is it. That's the fastest this person can go. And I took a breath in there somewhere. I know somewhere in there I took a breath. I've got a little clue for you if you want. Gale forced winds. Remember yesterday when we talked about the Wizard of Oz, El Mago de Oz? We talked about gale force winds. All right. Let's see. It looks like we might have some people who have weathered the storm. Capear el temporal or something you say? To weather the storm. Let's see. The first person to participate is Kubla. Kubla, the first one is correct. The second one is correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one is also correct. And the sixth one is also correct. Nice job. Excellent job, Kubla, spelling bee. And we got Born to Iron Man right on his heels. Ooh, hey. But again, you're not competing against each other. Both of you deserve a pat on the back from me, your teacher, your fellow students, and give yourselves a pat on the back. You deserve it. Os lo merecéis. All right, this is round two. This is where I'm gonna be nice. Me voy a portar, voy a ser majo. You know, ese tío que llama, que tienes que tratar con él por teléfono y dices, o esa mujer. And you're like, menos mal que me ha tocado esta persona. You know what I mean? Or at, DMV, you say, ITU, these government offices that everyone's like, oh no, this is the worst. And then they're like, algo más. And you're like, wow, what happened? Where are the hidden cameras? Chris also got it. Excellent job, Chris Valrol. There's the Holy Trinity. I'm not trying to be sacrilegious, but on the show with no name, there's our Holy Trinity. All right, well, folks, let's go with round two. The first one is LANDSLIDE. The second one is TORNADO. The third one is EARTHQUAKE. The fourth one is ERUPTION. The fifth one is AVALA, NCHE. And the last one is DROUGHT. All right, there you go, my amigos. Hopefully, the rest of you will be able to get it on that second round. Yes, these are natural disasters. And in case you didn't know it, there's an FYI episode, 2 episodes on natural disasters.
Most times we marvel at how her massiveness and majesty are unmatched. Nevertheless, in nature lies the powerful paradox that while imperfectly pretty, she can also be unpredictable and potentially precarious. The fact of the matter is, Mother Nature's fury is far more fierce than we can fathom. We'll brave the elements as we delve into natural disasters on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info, English. You got it. That's Nacho. That's right, folks. That's right. You've got an episode of FYI on natural disasters. Well, two. As you know, if you guys are in my community online, well, you have access to 2 episodes and much more every week. But if not, if you're really patient, well, you can get extra episodes, bonus episodes. Usually I release them about a year later, just to let you know. So if you're patient, let me tell you what I've just released here. So we had diamonds, we had death, diamonds. Then we had a bonus episode that just came out, and that was the bonus episode on comedy with Dan Feist. And then you've got this week coming out tomorrow, you've got an episode on mountains. Then May 21st, I'm looking at my scheduler here on my podcasts, and you'll have the bonus episode of Time, which will be available on May 21st. So the best thing to do is follow FYI wherever you follow your Vaughn podcasts, and make sure you're following along, because yes, every Friday you get a brand new episode, but also I release bonus episodes every couple weeks, and maybe every week or so. In the summer, I release a lot of bonus episodes because in August, I usually take a break from producing FYI. So there are 2 episodes. Both of them are already available. If you want to listen to both of them on natural disasters, you can search for FYI for your English, natural disasters. All right, let's take a look at what we've got here. By the way, excellent job to all the students who figured it out. Awesome stuff. Now, the reason I chose natural disasters, well, it's an interesting topic. It's something that affects everybody, I think. But also today in the year 1980, Mount St. Helens erupted. That's right, Mount St. Helens in Washington. Not Washington, D.C., Washington State. And this is a very famous mountain/volcano. And I want you to listen to how I pronounce that. I've heard a lot of my students say volcano, right? Volcan. In English, it's volcano. Okay, so everybody pronounce that one with me, because I've heard a lot of people mispronounce it. Volcano. Okay? In fact, a lot of these are difficult to pronounce. The first one, not so much. The first one is a landslide. And I think this is a very logical word. Slide is deslizar and land is tierra. Could it be derrumbe, corrimiento, desprendimiento? Possibly, yeah. But also, last night there was a game, I won't say who, but my team, the other team won, esto es como se diría, the other team won by a landslide. So not only is this a good word to know, and you'll probably use it more in the second, in the figurative sense than in the other, the literal one. I mean, unless you live in, a rainforest, una selva, otra palabra lógica, rainforest. So landslide. And they would say it, you could say they won by a landslide, or como adjetivo, it was a landslide victory. And that's one word altogether, landslide. The next one is another one my students often mispronounce. So volcano, we just said. And then tornado, he oído tornado. You can say tornado, or you can say twister, like the movie, or like the ice pop, el twister. Oh, anybody? I just remembered my childhood there. Tornado is the correct pronunciation, right? Then you've got earthquake. Okay, that's another one
that I've heard many people mispronounce. Earthquake. Okay. The fourth one is eruption. Eruption from a volcano. The volcano erupts. The fifth one, I've seen these. Thank God I wasn't under them, but I've seen them happen when I was snowboarding in the Alps or in the Pyrenees. Avalanches. Oh man, you do not want to get caught in any natural disaster. But man, I've seen some of those documentaries when they save these people. They wear transponders and they get buried, enterrados, in an avalanche, right? We also say that too. I have an avalanche of work. So a lot of these are figurative too, right? Earthquake, no tanto. I'm trying to think if there's a tornado, no tanto. But avalanche, yeah. Avalanche, landslide, sí que se usan. And then the last one, the sixth one, is drought. Pronounce this one with me because this is a weird one. It's D-R-O-U-G-H-T, which is weird because si ves la palabra bought, compró o comprado, bought is B-O-U-G-H-T, bought. Entonces esto debería ser drought, pero no es drought. It's incredible, drought. So el inglés, ¿a qué me refiero aquí? What am I getting at? English doesn't make sense. Yes, landslide, the vocabulary, but when it comes down time to spelling and pronouncing things how they're spelled, which is a very easy thing in Spanish, in English it makes no sense. Again, bought. I bought something. So la palabra bought y drought tienen la misma terminación. I bought something after the drought. What? Come on, English. Who made those decisions that we should pronounce different endings differently? I agree with the Spanish there. Kiss. What? Beso? Yeah, kiss means keep it simple, stupid. No te compliques. All right, folks, we've got to go to, I can't believe it, but it's our second commercial break. We're halfway through the show, but we've got so much to do in the second half of today's show with No Name, so I sure hope you'll join us for tons of fun and exciting English. We'll be right back, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. That's right, folks. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter. Well, I just saw Chris Valrol. I just saw your comment and Elena Giggler's comment. Yeah, my daughter has a new nickname for me. Remember how I told you I give people a lot of nicknames? Well, my daughter now she's beating me at my own game. And her new nickname for me is, I don't know, can't believe this, Fat Elvis. I'm like, is that because I'm a good singer or because I'm fat? Oh, man. Although she loves, this is the thing, she loves Fat Elvis. I mean, she loves Elvis, but she loves when he did Unchained Melody. I mean, that's one of the greatest performances ever. He's sitting at the keyboard, at the piano. Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch. Oh, what a beautiful song. And yeah, you can call him Fat Elvis, but you try and sing like that and not be in your best moment, you know? So unbelievable. Yeah, but hey, my daughter's just given me a taste of my own medicine. Me está devolviendo un poco de lo mío. And, you know, once she saw it made me laugh, she goes, okay, I'm sticking with that one. Me quedo con esa. All right, folks, we've got so much to do, so let's get into it with today's Homophone.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no homophone. That's right, amigos. It's our homophone section where we look at words that can be a bit confusing, but don't worry, we will demystify them as always. All right, well, the first word I want you to give me, and as always, I want you to give me the two words, and then I want you to tell me if the two words sound exactly the same or not. All right, the first word is corriente. A current of air, ráfaga. Now, this is in the UK, by the way. Ojo. In el Reino Unido, in the UK, not in the United States. Okay, ojo. Esto es importante. Very important. Pay attention here. So this is ráfaga de aire o corriente, a current of air, we could say, but in British English. This is also cerveza de barril. We say tap beer. That's another way to say it, on tap, de grifo, tap beer. But this is, again, the British way to say this, okay? What else is it? Yeah, that's it. Corriente, ráfaga de aire, cerveza de barril, okay? But in England, if you go to England, you'll hear this. Now, the second word is borrador. Boceto, okay? It's also corriente y cerveza de barril, but in American English. Wait a second, this is getting interesting. So they're spelt differently, but are they pronounced? Whoa. Okay, so first word. Let's review it because this is tough today. The British way to say a current of air, okay? Una corriente, una ráfaga, okay? If you think about it, cerveza es una corriente de cerveza. Same idea, right? So, si pides en Inglaterra, lo ves escrito, va a estar escrito así. Ahora, ¿cómo se pronuncia? I'm asking you guys, okay? Cerveza de barril, corriente. The second word is a word you should know, especially, you know, in business, and that is borrador. Borrador, okay? But it's also the American way to say cerveza de barril y corriente de aire. So this is a tough one today. I've got to be honest with you guys, but I think you'll be able to figure it out. And in the meantime,
I owe you today's Say What soundbite for the third time.
You know something, brother? I'm sure glad that you brought up this thing about Piper. Ladies and gentlemen, if you people don't know by now what this man have done to me, trying to humiliate, cripple me, and put me out of my wrestling commission.
All right, there we go, amigos. There we go. That is your Say What soundbite. You're going to get one more chance to write down everything you hear. Again, it's a tough one, so do your best. That's all I can ask of you every day. If you come here every day, you put your best foot forward, buenísima expresión, to put your best foot forward, no, darlo todo, no, hacer lo mejor que puedas. Well, then all I've got to say to you is, and that's why you guys get applauses every day. All right. All right. Let's see today's homophone section. The first person to participate is Kubla. And Kubla, those are the correct words. And Kubla says they sound alike. I trust you, dude. Do your fellow classmates trust you? Do you guys? Let's see. Let's take a look. But if Kubla says they sound alike, I'd be willing to bet they do. Again, don't follow anyone blindly. I'm the king of, I'm trying to teach my daughter, question everything. Now, I'm paying the price. Why? I'm like, oh, God, I meant everybody else, not me. Cuestionar a todo lo demás. Dudar de todo, no de mí. All right, there's Maria Jose. Maria Jose, you are doing a great job today. Thanks for all your participation. She says the words are and they are homophone. So right now, we've got two super show with no namers telling me, yay. Yay is woohoo, pero también yay es la forma antigua de decir que sí. Okay, like in the court, yay or nay. Okay. And when I heard nay, I would go, like a horse? Nay. That's to neigh. It's N-E-I-G-H, speaking of homophones. All right. So what do you guys think? Do you agree with Kubla and Maria Jose? I would if I were you. I'm not giving you the answer yet, but I trust them. I really do, honestly. All right. Well, the first word, the best way to sort this out right away is to give you the words. The first word is draft, which is weird. Because wait a second. I just told you that bought, O-U-G-H-T is ought, bought. Then I taught you that drought, sequía, D-R-O-U-G-H-T is out, como out, fuera. So we've already got, and now this one, D-R-A-U-G-H-T is draft? What are we, nuts? I mean, what are they trying to do here? Blow our minds? I think so. Geez, Louise. Chris Valrol as well. She says, the words are homophones, I think. Well, absolutely, because the second word actually makes sense. So here we got to give it up for American English and also Kubla, Maria Jose, and Chris. So in American English, it's D-R-A-F-T. ¿Cómo se pronuncia? Draft. Excellent. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, American English. Draft. I'll have some draft beer. Or what do you have on tap? Muchas veces decimos. I normally, to be honest, you guys know me, occasionally I like to have a beer on the weekend or something, but I shy away from, intento evitar, draft beer. Why? I think in my case, bottled beer it's more consistent. I've worked in bars, and it depends on the pressure, depends on the amount of gas that they let into the line, depends on, sometimes you taste a beer and it's like, this is, what? And that's because they haven't cleaned their lines. No han limpiado las líneas de donde viene. So pretty interesting stuff there. But yes, if you go to England, it'll say draft beer or beer on draft. Y pone draft. Okay, pero en teoría es la palabra draft. Y si vas, ahora, se dice igual, eso es lo bueno, la buena noticia. Si vas a Inglaterra dices, ¿is there a draft in here? ¿Hay una corriente? ¿Ha entrado aire? Eso es muy de frase de abuela. ¿Is there a draft in here? Right? Draft. It's spelled differently, but pronounced the same. Now, the second word I told you, borrador, that one, there's only one way to say it. So, esa sí que no vale los dos. Okay, cuando hablamos de cerveza de barril, draft beer, and we talk about a corriente, o sea, las dos que son corrientes se deletrean diferente, pero se pronuncian igual, okay? But draft solo tiene una forma de deletrearlo, draft como borrador. We're working on the first draft, primer borrador. So let's review all of these words that we just looked at. I want you guys to do it aloud with me. So we had the first word we looked at, drought. Drought. There was a drought. It hadn't rained in months. There was a drought. All right? It sounds like out. Siempre intenta rimarlo con otras palabras. It's another way too, right? Out. Get out. Was there really a drought? Calla. Get out en este caso es calla, no me digas. So was there really a drought? That was the first word we looked at when we looked at our natural disasters. The second word we looked at was draft. What? Yeah, draft, not drought or drought of any kind. And the third word, which is the second homophone, draft. I hope I didn't mix you guys up more, but those can be quite confusing, those words. I remember the first time I was in England and I saw it and I said, what is this? Why does it say drought? Drought, because it wasn't drought, because eso es O-U-G-H-T, lo de sequía. But so I'm like, wait, what? So I wanted to say drought, like the other word, but it's not. And I said, what is that? Why does it say that? Next thing he goes, draft beer, mate, draft beer. I'm like, where's the F? Why did you guys spell it like that? So English is weird. Next time your teacher says it's not, tell them to explain draft and draft. All right, well, we've got so much to do, amigos, but great job to all of you who participated. Right now, we're going to a place I love. We're going to the movie. Name that movie. That's right, amigos. Oh, and I wanted to tell you another thing while we're at it. There is it makes some kind of sense. Okay, there are exceptions, as with everything. But remember the first one we looked at, bought. Digo, ¿por qué bought no rima con drought? No, porque deberían, right? But it doesn't. But the good news is that ought sound se usa muchísimo. Piensa en los verbos irregulares. Buy, bought, bought. Say it with me. Think, thought, thought. Catch, caught, caught. Teach, taught, taught. So what am I saying? You ought to know that sound. You ought to know. Deberías. You ought to. Suena igual que eso, que se escribe O-U-G-H-T. Hey, I'm trying to make it easier for you. At least there are some words with that ending that sound the same, and practice them because they're the most common ones. You know, I thought you said you bought. You know, these are words that we think, buy, words we use pretty often, con bastante frecuencia. All right, let's take a look at our Name That movie over here and see if you guys can figure it out. Let me look for, I think I've got some sound effects over here that we can pop in. Let me see. I know I got something here. All right, yeah, let's take it to the city. There we go. You got to set the scene here. In New York City, a case of mistaken identity turns a bored married couple's attempt at a glamorous and romantic evening into something more thrilling and dangerous. Dangerous. Give me a sign, give me a sign. So sounds interesting to me. In New York City, a case of mistaken identity. No es identity, it's identity. And obviously, se confunde una persona por otra. Mistaken identity. It's the premise of many movies. Convierte, turns a bored married couple's attempt. O sea, convierte el intento de una pareja casada aburrida. Okay, remember, partner es uno, couple los dos. He oído gente decir, my couple. No, my partner. A no ser que estás en una relación de tres, right? Hey, suit yourself. So, pero mira el ese sajón ahí. A bored married couple's attempt, intento, at a glamorous and romantic evening. So they're going to go out and, like they first met, You see this a lot in movies too. Into something more thrilling, más emocionante, and dangerous. Oh no. Oh, wait, I hope things don't end like that. All right, well, let's see over here. We've got some winners. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chris Valrol and Kubla. That's right, folks. This is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, it's called Date Night. And it's one of those funny comedies. I mean, two of the funniest people alive, in my opinion. Yeah, Chris. Chris says, I watched it. I love Tina and Steve. I second the motion, Chris. So if you haven't seen this movie, just the two main actors, the characters are funny and the actors are great. And so it's called Date Night, Noche de Cita. My wife and I occasionally try and have a date night if we can get my sister-in-law or my niece or somebody to babysit for a couple hours. We like to have a date night. So, it's sometimes having kids working, well, sometimes you lose some of that romance. So it's normal. It's not just in movies, right? But if you add Steve Carell and Tina Fey, you've got yourself a funny freaking flick. Una película graciosísima. And also Mark Wahlberg is in the movie. And in fact, in most of the movie, he's shirtless, ladies. Hey, he's a hunk. Es un macizo. And so, yeah. And also, he's got a Bob Marley tattoo, but you won't see that. Nope, you won't see it in the movie because they filmed at different camera angles to avoid that. I guess they could have covered it too, but either with makeup or with CGI. But it's funny because if you watch the end credits, which I doubt you did, sometimes people do, especially because now there are scenes afterwards. But it's funny because Mark Wahlberg has a wardrobe assistant, although he barely wears any clothes. So it's kind of like a little joke that they put in there. Also, as I can imagine, as with many scenes, the erotic dance between Steve Carell and Tina Fey was improvised. They ad-libbed it. To ad-lib is another way to say improvise. And so interesting. You get the right people, you get a decent script that you can do something with, and you've got yourself a funny movie. In Spanish, it's Noche Loca. Yeah, pero pierde la noche de cita, no? Noche romántica, cita. I think the cita part is the important part there, because Noche Loca could be I'm going out with my friends to have a crazy night. Ahí yo no sé. I'm not trying to criticize anybody. I know the professionals who translate and who work in this field do the best they can. But sometimes, and I know it's easy you'd say, well, then you do it. Well, I'm not interested in doing that job. That's why I don't do it. A lot of people say, Alberto, can you, I'm looking at some translation. I don't do translations. I mean, I can. I'm very easily. I translate in my head, right? But it's not my thing. I don't spend my days doing that. I spend my days producing content and radio shows and podcasts and videos, right? And teaching English in all of those things, right? So let's take a look at the scene. Claire is freaking out. Now, what does that mean if I say that to you? Claire is freaking out. It's very different than saying Claire is freaked out. So pay attention. If Claire is freaked out, she's scared. Here it says she's freaking out. Está perdiendo los estribos. What the So again, the nuance there, that's those collocations we were talking about with Dave. Claire is freaked out. I'm freaked out. I'm freaking out as me estoy voy a explotar, right? So then Phil says, Claire, look at me. Look at me. I've got this. I've got this. Lo tengo controlado. I got this. He goes, count to 3. Cuenta a 3, right? And Claire says, what? What? And Phil says, just count them down. Cuenta hacia atrás, to count down. We do it every day at the beginning of our show. And Claire says, no, that doesn't work with grown-ups. So what she's doing is she's, telling the bad guy, she's using the same parenting techniques that she uses on her children with the bad guys that they have bumped into on this adventure. She goes, just count them down. And Claire says, no, that doesn't work with grown-ups. Eso no funciona. Because 3, 2, if you don't listen, 1, okay, grounded, right? Castigado. That's what they're talking about, counting him down. And Claire's like, what are you, an idiot? She's like, no, that doesn't work with grown-ups. You can say grown-ups, you can say adults, or you can say adults. She says, that doesn't work with people with guns. Eso no funciona con gente con pistolas. And Phil says, trust me. Famous last words, no? Confía en mí. Trust me. And Claire turns to 2 of the guys, and they're goons. And a goon is sus matones. They're called goons. Goon. I know we've looked at it before here on the show. And Claire says, all right. This is where she freaks out. All right. I have had enough. Estoy hasta aquí, hasta arriba. My kids are going to have me up in 90 minutes, right? Mis hijos me van a tener despierta en 90 minutos. In 90 minutes. So this shit ends now. Así que esta tontería acaba ahora. This shit ends now, right? She is putting her foot down, as we say. I'm going to count to 3. Voy a contar a 3. She's treating them like they're the children, right? And every one of you boys is going to put down your guns. Y cada uno de vosotros, chicos, vais a dejar vuestras armas. And Armstrong says, is she serious? ¿Va en serio? And Claire goes, 1. And the DA is the district attorney, el fiscal, says, I think she's serious. Claire continues, 2. And Joe says, she's kidding, right? Está cachondea. Es una broma, no? She's kidding, right? And Claire goes, 3. And if I could count the amount of times my mother did those counts with me, sometimes it's weird because sometimes they would count up and sometimes they would count down. Okay, you have till the count of 3, young man. 1, 2, 2.5. I used to always say, 2.5. And then I would obviously upset my mother even more. Hey, kids will be kids. Los niños serán niños. So this is one of these funny comedies, these goofy comedies that you don't really have to think too much, And I like that because more and more, what was the one? Inception. Okay, I get it. You're trying to make a movie about a dream, about a life inside of a movie, inside of a dream, inside of another dream, inside of a movie. And that's okay. But you lost me after the first dream, and I don't want to think. I think every day with my work. My job is to use my brain. So sometimes when I watch entertainment, I just want it to be something where I don't have to think. I like to, when possible, turn off my brain. Apagar este cerebro. Folks, you know what the music means? It means we are rocking and rolling through the show. Right now, we've got to go to our final commercial break. But we'll be right back with the 4th and final part of the show with no name. We're going to take a look at Name That Lyric, famous birthdays, double trouble, jokes, and so much more. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. welcome back. Welcome back to this, the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you're learning. I hope you're laughing. And most of all, I hope you'll stay tuned and listen to Ximena's show, Test Your English. Don't miss it. Right after it, the lunchtime show, and then Tosh Pasqua, and Back to Basics. Don't forget to follow us on social media as well. It's another way to make sure you're learning English for free on all the different platforms, be it YouTube, LinkedIn. I'm not on LinkedIn, but Vaughn is. So for all you professionals out there, follow Vaughn on LinkedIn. Oh, yeah. Obviously on all the big ones, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and what have you. Along with content, you'll also find out about all our upcoming events, special deals. And I know recently we've had a couple open houses. I know Richard Vaughn also had a maybe coming up. It could be. Either way, follow us on social media, and this way you can find out about everything that's going on in the Vaughn world. I'm excited. We've got so many things happening right around the corner, including, I almost forgot, Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. That's right. Mark your calendars. So many things to do. This month, June, it'll be hosted by, this coming month, June, it'll be hosted by Nacho, Andy, and Rob. A triple threat. June 7th at Roll Madrid, Calle de Amaniel 23. It's at 8:30 p.m. And you have a triple threat with your hosts, Nacho, Andy, and Rob. It's going to be tons of fun. I hope you guys can make it on June 7th to Vaughn Radio Trivia Nights. All right, well, folks, we've got a lot to do, so let's get right back into it with today's Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, folks. That's right. It's Double Trouble only on the show with no name. And this is a translation with a twist. That's right, folks. A translation with a twist. And that twist is, I want to see the same word twice in this translation. All right. Good luck. I think it's relatively easy knowing your level. Sé que estás contra las cuerdas, pero no te preocupes. Te enseñaré cómo van las cosas por aquí. O cómo se hacen las cosas, ¿no? O cómo lo hacemos por aquí. So, sé que estás contra las cuerdas. It's an expression, right, in Spanish. Also in English. Pero no te preocupes. Te enseñaré cómo van las cosas por aquí. Okay, that's your double trouble. Also, I'm going to give you your say what soundbite. This is your last listen. This one's really tough. And Kubla, I think you got it. I think I saw one or two words. Well, either way, great job. I don't have my applause over here, but I'll give you an applause with my hands because I'm ready to play the jingle for today's Say What soundbite. Here's your fourth listen.
You know something, brother? I'm sure glad that you brought up this thing about Piper. Ladies and gentlemen, if you people don't know by now what this man have done to me, trying to humiliate, cripple me, and put me out of my wrestling commission.
All right, there you go, amigos. Yeah, Kubla, I just checked it, and not bad. There's just one word that's off, but It doesn't change the meaning today. So we'll give it to you. Let's see. Kubla says, was that a gunshot? Yep. I don't know anything else that sounds like that. I think so. When I found the sound effect, it said gunshot. Why do you ask? Did it seem? I'm confused about the question. I'm sorry. Chris, let's see. Chris says, absolutely, Alberto. Sometimes I prefer easy movies. Another movie I loved with Tina is This Is Where I Leave You. Yeah, Tina, I love everything that's got Tina in it. I've been following her since Saturday Night Live, since those days where she was just, coming up. Estaba floreciendo. Let's see. We've got Laura. Laura says, hi, guys. Hey, Laura. Great to have you. She says, how are you doing? Better late than never. Great to have you. Hey, look on the bright side. At least I'm in time for Alberto's jokes. Great to have you with us, Laura. And wait a second. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Laura, she's not only here a little bit late, but she says, but I'm going to take a stab at the double trouble. And let's see. That would be a great entrance, Laura. So, sé que estás contra las cuerdas, pero no te preocupes. Te enseñaré cómo van las cosas por aquí. Laura says, let's see. I know you're against the ropes, but don't worry. I'll teach you the ropes. Unbelievable, Laura. What an entrance. Wow. What an amazing entrance there. Like Mike Tyson coming into the ring, like Evander Holyfield. Excellent. I know you're against the ropes, or you're up against the ropes. Muchas veces ponemos el up también, pero es correcto como lo has puesto. I know you're against the ropes, or I know you're up against the ropes. But don't worry. I'll teach you, or I'll show you, either one, the ropes. And the person who you're showing the ropes or teaching the ropes to, that person is learning the ropes, aprendiendo cómo van las cosas, okay? It comes from sailing, by the way. And there's an FYI episode on sailing, which is fascinating. I learned so much. So great job, Laura. What an entrance. Let's see, Kubla. I know you're against the ropes, but don't fret. I'll show you the ropes. Nice. Born to Iron Man. Better late than never. Oh, no. Es que estoy viendo comentario. I don't know what happened. The chat just went to the top there for some reason. Chris, I thought he was here. Chris says, I know you're on the ropes, but don't worry. We're going to show you the ropes. Interesting. On the ropes. Maybe it's British. We would say on the ropes. Yeah, forced against the ropes. Contra las cuerdas. Same thing. For me, I would say you're against the ropes or you're up against the ropes, but that's perfect. You're on the ropes. It's even easier, Chris. I love it. But don't worry. We're going to show you the ropes. So just to show someone the ropes, to teach someone the ropes, and then if you are the person who's learning, then you're going to learn the ropes. And if you guys want to be stand-up comedians, well, I can teach you the ropes. Yeah, of course. You want to learn the ropes and become a stand-up comedian? Well, just pay attention to these awesome jokes.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right, amigos. That's right. You're joking. Here's where we're going to listen to some of the greatest jokes you've heard all day. Well, it's still early. Still early. I mean, you can maybe you haven't heard any jokes yet today. See? So I'm kind of right. Tengo razón ahí, eh? This is the best joke you're going to hear all day. And this is also a part of the show where you can just sit back, relax, crack a beer. Go ahead. All right. First joke for you. Why did the beers keep falling off the table? Okay. Why did the beers keep falling off the table? So to fall or to drop, right, off the table. Well, easy. It's simply because of the hops. The hops. Why did the beers keep falling off the table? The hops. No. We looked at the word hop yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, with grasshoppers. And we looked at a hop, skip, and a jump. But what's this one? So hop is saltar. Claro, si salta, pues se cae de la mesa. That makes sense. Because of the hops, los saltitos. Really? And what else does it mean? It's also lúpulo, hops. It's one of the main ingredients if you're making beer. Now, normalmente se usa en plural siempre. This beer is, de hecho, hay un adjetivo. Si sabe mucho a lúpulo, it's hoppy. No es que salta mucho. Que vimos ayer, jumpy, que es que saltas fácilmente o estás nervioso, right? So you get it now? Why did the beers keep falling off the table? Because of the hops, los saltitos, el lúpulo. All right. I got another one for you. What do you call a bartender, camarero de bar, with a black eye? And you want to know something? I came up with this joke myself. So if you don't like it, I'll be personally offended. No, I'm kidding. I don't get offended by very much. I know myself. I'm my number one critic. No one else can offend me more than me. And if you live by that rule, you're not waking up every day offended. Because I see people, I know some friends even on Twitter that they're good friends. And I wake up and I wake up and I see their tweets and I'm like, wow, you wake up feeling this angry, this anxious. It's weird. I'm like, you need to maybe take up some yoga or I don't know, something. All right. So this one, I actually wrote this joke when I was putting together. Sometimes I get ideas from the internet, and this one I came up with on my own. So what do you call a bartender with a black eye? The guy with the bruise. I think it's great. The guy with the bruise. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't heard it, there's an FYI episode on beer. It's a delicious episode. Delectable. If you haven't heard it, great way to enjoy that episode, responsibly, of course, is crack a beer and listen to it. Same way, if you're going to listen to the coffee episode, what better way than having a cup of Joe? Una taza de café. Okay? So what do you call a bartender with a black eye? Un moratón, ojo morado, right? The guy with the bruise. Bruise, B-R-U-I-S-E, bruise, is moratón. My daughter, the other day, we were talking about this word because she fell and she bruised, o sea, hace el verbo también, she bruised her knees. It's very normal. Kids have bruises everywhere, right? They fall, they get right back up. So the guy with the bruise, el tío con el moratón, but also brews are cervezas. Brew, to brew is elaborar cerveza. A brewery is cervecería, donde se hace, right? So another way to say beers are brews, or mi favorito, brewskis. We're going to have some brewskis. If you don't know that, it's because you didn't listen to that episode, the beer episode of FYI. And if you didn't listen to it, well, you are cruising for a bruising. You know this? It's a rhyming thing. My parents used to say it, even though they don't beat you, pero como no me hagas caso, te la estás buscando. Estás yendo camino a una paliza. Now, again, my parents didn't hit me, okay? But it's an expression. Keep it up, young man. You're cruising for a bruising. Okay? Estás yendo hacia una paliza. Te la estás buscando. I think translations, you're asking for it. Okay? You're cruising for a bruising today. Otra vez, I don't know any parent thankfully, that hit their children. So it's more of an idiomatic expression, right? Because it rhymes. All right, one more. I've got another one for you. Oh, and I came up with this one too. Esta la hice yo también. What was the art teacher's favorite thing to drink? What was the art teacher's favorite thing to drink? Easy. Craft beer. Craft beer. Craft beer, cerveza artesana, ¿no? Hecha las pequeñas, ¿no? Micro brews, we call them as well. Craft beer. And crafts are manualidades. O sea, cerveza de manualidad, pero también craft es oficio, right? So interesting. You get it now? What was the art teacher's? Hey, these are my jokes, by the way. If you don't like them, I'll take all the credit. If you like them, I'll take the credit too. Tell these in your English class today. What was the art teacher's favorite thing to drink? Craft beer. Crafts, manualidades, and craft beer obviously means cerveza elaborada, especial, super única, unique. Hey, I like craft beer more than these mass-produced beers, but obviously you can't drink too much beer. As you get older, you realize it's not good. At least not for your tummy. Esa tripa. All right, well, folks, we've got a lot to celebrate in today's famous birthday trivia. That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And I can't believe we've gotten to this part of the show already. Thank you to all of you for being here. Awesome. For your participation, for your energy, and your time. I know time is precious, right? So thank you for your time. Oh, and speaking of, you'll get that bonus episode of Time coming up really soon, and it's chock full of idiomatic expressions that have to do with time. So you're going to love that one. Usually, let me tell you a general rule I have with FYI. The first part is usually the history of stuff, the basics, the bare bones. The second part is where I get into the fun facts, the dark side, and the English lesson. Okay, like in the death episode. What do you say at a funeral? What are the right things to say? That's in the bonus part. So you can either wait a year or, as I said, you can join us in our curious community. It's also a way to support the work that we do, all of us here at Vaughn Radio. Well, we earn a salary or we get paid, but obviously all the videos and all that stuff that we make, nobody's, that's stuff we do, for the love of the game, porque nos encanta por arte, ¿no? Por amo al juego, right? For the love of the game. All right, let's take a look at today's famous birthdays. The first person was born in 1912. He was an American singer and television host. My grandparents love this guy. Well, he was an Italian-American. He recorded a lot of famous songs. And he even, along with Bing Crosby, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. He pioneered what they called vocal pop, okay? And it was this kind, not pop of today. Remember, this is back in the day. He was born in 1912. But this was kind of intimate, easy listening kind of music. Like we were just saying, movies that are easy to watch. You don't have to be like, so wait, did he just kill his sister's best friend's cousin, or was that the other guy? Which is fun. As Chris said, there's a time to run, a time to write. And this guy was born in Pennsylvania. And he's just an amazing, talented. He's won every award out there. Speaking of Pennsylvania, another one from Pennsylvania. She was born in Pennsylvania in 1970. She was on Saturday Night Live from 1997 to 2006. She created the sitcom 30 Rock, which was huge. The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Mean Girls. That's a famous movie. Date Night, which was today's Name That Movie. So if you were paying attention, I already told you her name. Chris Valrol told you her name. And last but not least, if you were into wrestling, this guy was the guy who was there before The Rock. So there's always been a Fijian element in wrestling, in el pressing catch. And before we had Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, we had this guy. And he was awesome until he lost his mind. And again, I don't want to, there were court cases here, but his partner turned up dead from brutal bruises. Hablando de bruises. So it ruined my my opinion of this guy. Once I saw that, I'm like, what a scumbag. But all right. I'm thinking of the old him, the one who was in the ring before he started doing stupid things. And that happens. A lot of times fame does it to you. A lot of times you're just chemically imbalanced. And he got away with it. Salió de Rositas, I think you say, or ileso. He got away with it because he was insane. So this is, for me, made me less of a fan of his. But then again, everybody, Hulk Hogan said racist comments. What about Macho Man? I'm sure he did something wrong too. But this guy, I preferred him as the friendly, nice wrestler before he lost his mind. Let's see, we've got a winner here. It's Kubla. Number one, Perry Como. Perry Como, American, Italian-American singer Perry Como. Number two, Tina Fey. And number three, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. And he was a very important guy in the early days of wrestling. And then, as I said, he lost his mind. But this is him in today's Say What soundbite. That's why it's hard to understand him. He's Fijian. He's from Fiji. And he doesn't speak nearly as clearly. He's never spoken as clearly as The Rock. I mean, in English. So he goes, you know, brother, sabes, hermano, you know, brother, I'm sure glad you brought up this thing about Piper. I'm sure glad. Pues me alegro que has mencionado esto de Piper. Y se refiere a Roddy Piper. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, if you people don't know by now what this man has done to me, y a mí me suena que dice have done. Creo que la caga ahí. You guys listen carefully. I think he says have done, pero yo lo corregía, has done to me, trying to humiliate, cripple me, and put me out of my wrestling commission. And I used to love that because, well, the drama, I think. All right, let's hear Jimmy Superfly Snuka before he was a scumbag. Escoria.
You know something, brother? I'm sure glad that you brought up this thing about Piper. Ladies and gentlemen, if you people don't know by now what this man have done to me, trying to humiliate, cripple me, and put me out of my wrestling commission.
All right, amigos, time for Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And thank you. Thank you for all your hard work. Today, we had fun, we learned, we laughed as promised, and I hope you guys will stay tuned to listen to Ximena Holiday and Test Your English and all the other amazing programs we have on Vaughn Radio. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Always learning from music. And today, it's Perry Como. Google it. Perry Como, Catch a Falling Star. Atrapa a una estrella que se cae, right? A falling star. A beautiful song by birthday boy Perry Como, and it goes, Catch a Falling Star. and put it in your pocket. Métetelo al bolsillo. Never let it fade away. Nunca deja que desvanezca, I think is the word. Don't let it fade away. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. Y vimos esa también en una canción. Only boys that save their pennies make my rainy day. Días no tan fáciles. And this is the song Catch a Falling Star. Perry Como, thank you so much, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. I hope you enjoy the song as much as I do. And we'll be back tomorrow with more. I promise.
Star and
Ciao.
put it in your pocket. Never let it fade.